My name is Catherine Yarlett. I grew up in a place called Mount Barker, which is just outside of Adelaide. I studied law and international studies, but I always had a real passion to get into international development. I'd travelled to Africa when I was 18 and really felt a desire to kind of work on international policy. So after doing a couple of years in the law, I packed up all my life into a couple of suitcases and I moved to New York about 6 years ago. There were two reasons I'd say that I was really drawn to doing the Gotham program. One was professionally. I actually found myself in my dream job really early into my career. And I loved it, but there was this sense of what now, what next? I'd always felt called to work in international development, but now that I was there, I didn't really know how to wrestle through what doing this actually looked like from a Christian perspective, and I felt like I didn't really have the tools. And then spiritually, I felt very dry. I had been here, I had lots of friends by that point, but I didn't really have a real community, and I really felt like I was living out of a lot of fear, but I couldn't really work out why. And so I think I just felt this need to really have some concerted time to really work that through. Going into Gotham, I had all these expectations. I really wanted to grow in my faith. I definitely wanted to develop a community, and I really wanted to have a better understanding of how faith and work really came together in my industry. And I feel that Gotham definitely gave me all of that. But I think the big thing that Gotham gave me was right from the beginning. I had this experience where I felt that God said to me that the reason why I was serving him was because I felt that it was the best way to have a no regrets life. I wasn't actually serving him because I loved him. And unless I really understood the brokenness in my own heart and the power of his redeeming love in my own life, then I would never really be in a position to be able to evaluate the brokenness in my industry and his plans for redeeming international development. So I think it took me on this journey of, first of all, having to look at my heart, having to really come to grips with some of those issues that had kind of developed over a long time. And then it kind of led me into looking at, now what does this look like, looking at the lens of work. And then with my work, I think understanding God's sovereignty over everything, and that because sin has affected everything, it's also affected all industries, but because of Christ's redeeming love, it actually, all industries can also be redeemed. And so it freed me in this way that I no longer had to have my identity placed in work. I knew that my industry was never going to be entirely redeemed until Christ returned, but at the same time it gave me this incredible vision of being able to reimagine what my work would look like redeemed and how I could be a part of that. I think there are two reasons why doing a program like Gotham is important. The first is in international development. We have this saying that says, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, give a man a fishing rod and you feed him for life. I had grown up in the church. I had gone to church every sort of week. I had lots of fishes, but I didn't really know how to fish. I didn't know when it came to various challenges at work, when it came to really being able to go back and look at why I had developed certain approaches or a certain understanding of God. I didn't know how to work that through, and I feel like Gotham gave me the tools to actually be able to do that. And I actually, if I look back now, I've been out of Gotham for 9 months, and I feel like my growth over the last 9 months has been just as much, if not more, than when I was in Gotham. And for me, that really shows that the power of sustainability of what you're learning in Gotham. The second reason why I think it's so important is there's a proverb that says that without vision, the people perish. And I think that we have congregations full of people that are feeling dismayed by work. They're feeling completely burnt out. They no longer understand what it is that their work is actually meant to be achieving. And if we don't give people this vision of what it looks like and how it's actually contributing to God's kingdom, then I think that we are not really equipping the congregation to go out and actually be the church scattered. And I think that it's absolutely vital that if we really want to influence culture, then we need to be giving people vision of what their industries could actually look like renewed. I feel like what I learned in Gotham I see being played out in my heart and in my community and in my world, I think on a daily basis.